Om Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaraachaarya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. त्रैलोक्यनाथ हरिमीड्यम् उदारसत्वं शक्तेस्तनूजतनयं परमेष्ठिकल्पं जीमूतमुक्तविमलाम्बरचारुवर्णं वासिष्ठमुग्रतपसं प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यम् सकलं मनसा क्रियया जनितं समवेक्ष्य विनाशितया तु जगत् निरविद्यत कश्चिदतो निखिलाद् अविनाशि कृतेन लभ्यमिति प्रतिपित्सुरसौ अविनाशि पदं यति धर्मरतो यतिमेव गुरुं विदितात्मसतत्वमुपेत्य कविं प्रणिपत्य निवेदितवान् स्वमतम्. We saw the second and third verse in the last class. These two verses are actually based on the Mundaka Upanishad Vakya, Parikshya Lokan Karma Chitan. It's a very, very popular Vakya, which describes in a way the qualification required for a student of Vedanta. A student of Vedanta has to go to a guru to learn Vedanta, but you are not going to learn Vedanta just to collect some facts or a degree or anything. Understand that. So it requires a certain understanding, prior understanding, in fact, on your part. Or even if you don't have that prior understanding completely, you should first gain that understanding by interacting with your guru or even attending some introduction to Vedanta classes, etc. So that's why even my own Guruji always used to have an introduction to Vedanta initially, where it is not even based on any text. It is simply some like 10, 11 classes where the entire human problem is first tried to, it is analyzed in fact, and it is explained to people so that they can understand what is the fundamental problem. See, unless you understand the fundamental problem and seek a solution, or ready to seek a solution for that, because everybody is not ready for that, then teaching Vedanta to you is in fact somewhat useless. Okay, so that's why even Totakaacharya starts with that only here, to show that the student already has a certain comprehension about what is the fundamental human problem. Okay, so as a human being, I take myself for granted and then go on a vicious cycle of pursuits, a life of becoming, where I try to become something all the time by doing some karma, correct? That is the life of every human being, in the hope that the karma phala, or the results of my action, will somehow fundamentally change me and make me completely satisfied with myself. But the nature of one's problem is such that any karma phala, however big it may be, whatever may be the biggest achievement which is possible for you, none of which is going to make you completely satisfied with yourself, because it doesn't fundamentally change you. Your vision about yourself, if it is still that I am a limited being, I am a wanting being, means that's never going to go away by any achievement, in fact, any karma phala. So that's what is summarized here, correct? So any karma phala is not going to give me the limitless or infinite, which is what I really seek in myself. I don't want to see me with any kind of limitation. I want freedom from all limitations, which means I really want the limitless. But then at that, even if I want that, I don't know certain things are a problem still, correct? Because if I really want the limitless, even logically thinking about it, there are only two options. Either I have to already be the limitless, because limitless means it is free, it transcends space time, correct? It cannot be limited with respect to space, it cannot be limited with respect to time. Then it must be already here and now. So by definition, the limitless has to be there here and now. If it is already here and now, why I am not aware of that? That is the problem, correct? So that means then only it becomes a problem of ignorance, that I am not aware of the limitless which is here and now is the problem really. Then one becomes a jijnasu or a pratipitsuhu is the word used by Totakaacharya here, which is the same meaning. It is the one who is desirous of knowing one's own reality, or one who is desirous of knowing the limitless. Here pratipitsuhu avinashi is the word is used here, that which is indestructible. Avinashi is indestructible, means it's all the same thing. Okay. So this person goes to a guru and then niveditavan swamatam. So this is important, in fact. See, niveditavan swamatam means what? Your own swamatam, generally swamatam means one's own opinions or whatever, conclusions, correct? So one's own conclusion. So what is the conclusion you have arrived at as a human being? That you have to tell your guru, or at least your guru will ask, I think, because many times when we see my Guruji used to conduct 3.5-year courses, long-term courses, correct? So they used to have some application form, or maybe even when you go and talk to him, Guruji will ask certain things, correct, about you, to understand where you are coming from, in the sense that what is your thought process and whether you have comprehended certain things, you are open enough to study Vedanta. All these things are important. So only by knowing the background of a person, and whether this person, even if I teach, whether that person, he or she will be able to appreciate it, that also is important to know as a guru. So guru also has to have some idea about where the Shishya is, and accordingly may teach Vedanta, or even just give them some mantra japa or some upasana or something, right? Or even go for some yatra. It depends on where you are. Being a compassionate guru will certainly give you something, but it may not be the teaching of Vedanta also already, because if the guru feels that this person is not ready to sit and learn Vedanta, very well, the guru may give some other sadhana for that person. Understand that. So here, the Shishya informing the guru about one's own conclusions, whatever he has arrived at, by analyzing the world and the worldly experiences. You analyze that, and what is the conclusion you have arrived at. So that is what is coming up in the 4th verse. The Shishya is actually informing the guru. Niveditavan swamatam is meaning that only one's own conclusions. The Shishya is now informing the guru. What is that? Bhagavan udadhau mriti janma jale sukha dukha jhashe patitam vyathitam kripaya sharanagatam uddhara mam anushadhyupasan anushadhyupasannam ananyagatim. Okay, upasannam. Okay. So it's interesting. So what is he saying? Bhagavan, hey Bhagavan. In fact, even in the Chandogya Upanishad, Narada goes to Sanat Kumara, and he says Bhagavan like this only. Hey Bhagavan. Sanat Kumara is a Brahmanyani. Narada is a very highly accomplished person himself. Okay. And in fact, he lists all the things he knows. And in that, everything is included. All the 4 Vedas, he has done Adhyayana. He knows so many other things also. All the different disciplines of knowledge, traditional knowledge disciplines, he is listing it. It is a huge list. Okay. At the end of that, he says, Bhagavan aham shochami. After knowing all this also, I am in sorrow. Hey Bhagavan. But I have heard that Atmavit Tarati Shokam, the one who knows himself, crosses all sorrow. This also he has heard. Some knowledge is there, correct? Apatata Jnanam, it is called. Apatata Jnanam means some general knowledge is there. That's why you go to the Guru. So now he says, you teach me now, so that I can cross all sorrow. Similarly, here also, the student is saying, hey Bhagavan, Udadhau Mriti Janma Jale, Sukha Dukha Jashe, Patitam, he says. Patitam means I have fallen. Fallen where? In this sagara, in the sea, in the ocean, Udadhau. And in that ocean, what is the water? Water is Mriti Janma Jale. The Jala is now compared to the Janana and Marana. That you are dying and you are born. Okay, you can take it as infinite Janmas also, or even in a very different way. If you look at it, every second in time, everybody is changing, correct? That means your previous second you are in one form, next second you are different, means you are dead and reborn all the time. You are changing. The change itself is said here as Mriti and Janma. That is the Jala. That I am subjected to change itself is a problem. Understand that. That means you are a mortal. You are subjected to space-time. Because the change indicates basically you are in space-time. That itself is a wrong understanding. So I am in this ocean, which is basically a changing field, correct? This space-time. And in that, what are the fishes? Jasha means fish. Sukha Dukha Jashe, and the fishes which are like jaws, you can say, correct? Sharks or whales or whatever it is, they are all ready to attack you. And what are those fishes? Sukha and Dukha, both are there. So they are after you, in fact. And I have fallen into this ocean. And then because of that, what? Vyathitam. Vyathitam means you can say I am afflicted or I am in distress. Okay. So that means I am in sorrow. Hey Bhagavan, I am afflicted and I don't know any other way out of this. How to swim? This ocean seems endless. Okay. So how much ever I swim, I am still in the same ocean. Therefore, what? Kripaya, hey, take, kindly show some compassion. Okay. Kripaya, Sharanagatam Uddhara. So I have taken refuge in you. I have taken refuge. Sharanagati is very important. For us, the Sharanagati is talked about by Vaishnavas in a very big manner. But I don't know whether they really understand Sharanagati properly. So the only Sharanagati we can take is in the Guru and Shastra. Really speaking, you have to finally surrender to the vision of the Shastra, correct? In fact, when you surrender to the vision of the Shastra, you also surrender all your limitations. In fact, that is the greatest surrendering you can do, correct? When you surrender all your limitations, what remains is the limitless alone. So the very surrender will actually lead you to what you really want, which is the limitless. And the greatest surrendering, or the last piece of surrendering, is the very notion that I am limited. You have to surrender it, which is born out of your own ego, correct? This I sense as a separate individual. Your very individuality you have to surrender at the altar of this Shastra and Guru Vachana, the words of the Guru. So you have to surrender yourself to that and embrace the vision which the Shastra is showing you. And that is the Sharanagati we are talking about here. Taking the words of the Shastra as a pramana with Shraddha. That is the Shraddha also. The faith means it is not something illogical for us. It is to take the Shastra as a pramana is the Shraddha. And give the benefit of the doubt to the Shastra and the Guru till the time we understand whatever is being taught. So this Sharanagatam means, again, it shows the attitude of the student. That student is ready to learn from the Guru. So Uddhara, you lift me up, or you help me. Okay, Uddhara means. And how does the Guru help the student? Mam Anushadhi. Shadhimam Tvam Prapannam is coming in Bhagavad Gita also. Correct? In the second chapter, Arjuna says that in so many words. Till then, in fact, Krishna never taught Arjuna. Krishna and Arjuna were friends, correct? And they have gone on many escapades together. But Krishna never taught Arjuna this Brahma Vidya, because Arjuna never asked. It is only given for the asking. That is also very important. That's why this Niveditavan Swamatam also shows that the Shishya is asking the Guru to teach Vedanta. Vedanta can only be taught when it is asked for. It is given for the asking. You cannot go like some people do, correct? They go, even when you stop your vehicle in a signal on the road, people are distributing some book or the other, or they are trying to peddle some theology to you. So you cannot preach Vedanta like that, correct? Vedanta is not to be preached. It has to be taught. If it is to be taught, means the student has to ask for it. If you want to learn quantum physics, nobody is going to preach quantum physics in a traffic signal. You go and enroll in a course in some university, go and sit in the class, or nowadays at least sit in front of some computer on Zoom or something. Then whoever is the professor will come and teach you. So it has to be asked. This teaching is given only when you ask. So the student is explicitly asking here, saying, Mam Anushadhi, please teach me. Sadhimam Tvam Prapannam, same thing. Sharanagatam Uddhara, Mam Anushadhi is also coming in Gita, where Arjuna also says the same thing. Till then, in fact, Krishna actually chided Arjuna in the second chapter beginning. If you see, he says, Klaibyam masmagam of partha naitatvai upapadyate kshudram hriday daurbalyam tektotishta parantapa. All these things are all very harsh words which Krishna is using. Then Arjuna becomes very hurt and he says, don't think that I have lost my valor or my courage or anything like that. But how can I kill my gurus? He says, Guruna hatva hi mahanubhavan shreyo bhoktum bhaikshyam apiha loke. Like this, instead of killing my gurus and my kin, I am ready to take to a life of sannyasa and take bhiksha and all that, he says. That means the thing what tipped Arjuna is that whether in defeat or in victory, both did not solve his problem. He has come to a certain stage and he is sitting in the battle, or he is on the battleground, and then suddenly he realizes that whether he wins or whether he loses, it doesn't change his situation one bit. He will still be in sorrow, correct? In fact, that is the understanding everybody has to come in life. Whether you achieve something in life, whether you don't achieve anything in life, you will still be fundamentally the same person. It's not going to, any achievement or any worldly pursuit is not going to change you fundamentally. Then you are at the crossroads, correct? If you have intimately understood this and you are feeling a certain despondency, it is good actually. So you have to be despondent like that. And then you are ready. You can go to a teacher. Even after that, getting a teacher itself is a great punya, only we have to say, correct? It's not that everybody gets the right guru. So again, some punya is required there. It is all purva janma sukrutam, we have to say, or in this janma you have done something. So you go and ask the teacher. You have to ask the teacher to teach you. And then only, so in the later on in that same second chapter, Arjuna says this, correct? Is the Shreyas. You teach me what is Shreyas in this now. Because I don't see any good coming out of whatever I do now. Now you teach me Shreyas.
Shadimam, and I have surrendered to you. Similarly, here the student has surrendered and says, Mam Anushadhi. And what kind of student he is? Upasannam, Ananya Gatim, he says. So I have no other way. Ananya Gatim. I don't have any other way to go. I have come to you now and I have approached you. Upasannam means I have approached you, I have come to you, and you are my only resort now. I don't have any other refuge. Okay, then the only way out is you have to teach me. Okay. So this is very clear. He is now imploring the Guru to teach the Shishya, and also he has shown a certain understanding of one's own fundamental problem, that I am now swimming in this ocean of samsara and I don't find any way out, how much ever I swim or however far I swim. Okay, now what does the Guru teach? So that is the next verse here. So this is very interesting. So very succinctly, the Guru is teaching here. What is that? He says, Vinivartya ratim vishaye vishamam parimutya sharira nibaddhamatim paramatma pade bhava nitya rataha jahi mohamayam brahmamatma matehe. So Guru is saying, Vinivartya ratim vishaye vishamam. So vishamam ratim. Rati means, you can say, a certain fascination or an attachment. Okay, or you have a certain attraction, right? Fatal attraction, you can say. Vishamam means that which is, in a way, it is painful. Even though the worldly pursuits themselves are painful, because you have to take a lot of effort. And even after taking all that effort, whatever you achieve is not going to give you any lasting solution, correct? So it's all painful only in the end. So, but still you have this attachment, a fascination, fantasy is there for everybody. Towards what? Towards Vishaya. Okay, Indriya Vishaya only. Because our natural tendency as a human being, or even any other animals also, correct? Instinctively what we are made of is what the instinct is. We go towards the sense objects. That is our pursuit. Natural pursuit is, I go after the sense objects. In fact, this is said in the Kathopanishad also, correct? So in the Kathopanishad, in fact, the Kathopanishad says that Bhagavan has created you in such a way that you go after the sense objects, and he has actually killed you in that. Okay. So that's what Kathopanishad says. So going after the sense objects itself is a problem. In fact, such people are called asuras, in fact, really. Even if you take the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, the third Brahmana in the first chapter, there is a story about Devas and Asuras. Okay, there what Bhashyakara is saying, who are Asuras means Asusuramate. Those who are going by their natural instincts, those who are going after the sense objects, they are the Asuras. Then who are the Devas means those who restrict their natural tendencies. Okay. So you have to, it's not that you have to suppress it and all that. That also is not going to work. Understand that. But you have to have a certain mastery over your own natural tendencies and guide and redirect your energies and your life according to what the Shastra is saying. So you do Shastrokta karma and not just whatever your natural tendencies are taking you towards. And then you become a Deva. That's because then once you become a Dharmika,
And once you start doing whatever the Shastra is telling, there only you gain a certain mastery over your likes and dislikes. Then once you become a mumukshu and a jijnasu, then it leads you to moksha itself. So this is very important, is what you vinivartya means. You basically you stop or you avoid this instinctual going after your sense objects. And then what? Then understand, try to understand your own reality, because till now you have taken yourself for granted. Whatever identity has been foisted upon you, you have gone along with that. But you have to analyze your own reality. And what is your reality? The simplest analysis one has to do. In fact, Vedanta is all about that only. Okay, you can keep doing this all the time. This can keep going on at the back of your mind also, even when you are engaged in anything, any day-to-day activity. Is whatever I see is not I. That's all. Is entire Vedanta is only that. The only sadhana you have to do as a Vedantic student is to always understand this simple thing, that whatever I see is not I. Now, this statement may seem very simple, and in fact is simple, correct? If I take this mouse, nobody says I am this mouse. Even the real mouse also, you don't get confused with that, because everybody knows that I am not an object of knowledge. Any object of knowledge, anything which I know as an object, is not I. That is very clear. Then what about this cloth? I am wearing a certain cloth. Here also there is no confusion, correct? I can wear the cloth around my body, etc. Okay, it is very close to me, but still I look at it. I have no confusion. I don't take myself to this cloth, to be this cloth, etc. Or whatever watch if you are wearing. You wear certain things on your body, but it is still not I. Very clear. But as soon as it comes to something like your hand, your physical body, from there everything goes for a toss, correct? The confusion starts from there. So that's why even in Brahma Sutra Bhashya also, Bhashikara starts with the Adhyasa Bhashya and talks about this only. How one is confusing oneself with whatever is an object of knowledge. The I is confused with this. So even normal people also may say this body. When looking at the body, they may make a claim, or even language wise you can use this body is paining, etc. Correct? But even after such usage, you 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 place the I on the physical body, correct? Once you place your identity there, then all the body's problems become your problem, correct? So I am fat, I am dark, I am white, whatever, correct? People have so many, all the bodily qualities become my qualities. But it need not be, because if you have an understanding that whatever is an object of my knowledge is not I, whatever I know is not I, means I know the body is also subjected to my cognition. I cognize the body, and it is also an object of cognition. Any object of cognition is not I. I am only the cognizer. Okay, body is one place where all the physical body, in fact, with the physical body, all confusion starts. Then what else? I am hungry, I am thirsty, Now, those are all physiological processes, correct? Again, you are aware of all those things. Those physiological processes are all prana. So traditionally we call it prana, or you can, modern terminology if you want to use, all physiological processes which are happening in your body. You are aware of those things, but still you place the I with reference to those activities or those states, physiological states. You identify yourself and say, I am hungry, I am thirsty, etc. That is another level of confusion. Then what? I am a thinker, I desire, I doubt, I am a doubter. Sankalpa vikalpa atmakaha manaha, we say, correct? So I have this intention to do this, whatever. So all this sankalpa and vikalpa. So I can think, I have ideas. So you place yourself with reference to your mind as a thinker. But even all thoughts, you are aware of them. You know your thoughts. And even when no thoughts are there, I am there. Understand that. Because somebody said, I think, therefore I am, which is ridiculous, I think. Because even when you don't think, you are there. In fact, you have to be there even when there are no thoughts. Then only two thoughts also you can have a certain flow in thoughts, correct? The invariable has to be there to cognize the change in thought. So as an invariable cognizer only, I know that this was my thought, now this is my thought, etc. That flow of thought itself can be cognized only when you are there as the invariable cognizer. Because thoughts change. Thoughts are always in a flow. In fact, that is the nature of mind, correct? All the states of mind you are aware of. That is where, in fact, the Vedantic logic is so powerful. Understand this. Because my Guruji used to always say, if I simply say that you are aware of your mental states and all that, you can accept it very easily. Now let us take it one step forward, one step more. I know I am in sorrow. Then what is the worldly vision? Means I am subjected to sorrow. I am sad. I am depressed. But then what does the Vedantin say? I know my sorrow, therefore I am not sorrowful, in fact. Because I am only the knower of sorrow also. Even if you have a depressed state of mind, you are a knower of that state of mind. In fact, if you are able to objectify your mind like that, there cannot be any depression. In fact, the depression will run away. Because naturally there is a space between you and depression. Only when you put your identity with the mental state, then all these things can trouble you. But once you have a certain objectivity with reference to your mind and its states, nothing can touch you really, in fact. Because these states are all fleeting. They are not intrinsic to you. It's all coming and going. Let it be as it is. Why should it bother you, in fact? I know I am in sorrow, therefore I am not sorrowful is the Vedantic understanding. It may be a bitter thing to hear, but that's the truth actually. So you are not, all the identity you place with reference to your mental states and activities are also a problem. It's all ignorance only, correct? It is all wrong identification. And then with reference to your intellect also, buddhi, I am knowledgeable, I am stupid, etc. That also is not correct, because you are the knower of your knowledge also, you are the knower of your ignorance also. That is your reality. So all the intellectual activities that I am a karta, also you are aware. The kartritvam is supposed to be there along with the buddhi, in the buddhi really. Then also there is you take yourself as the enjoyer. I am an enjoyer. Priya moda pramodaha. I like this. I love this. I am ecstatic about something. All this also, you are aware of all that. You are aware of your status as an enjoyer. So kartrutvam, bhoktrutvam are also objects of your cognition only. So none of this is really I. Whatever I know is not I. I am only this invariable conscious being. Even when there is nothing to be known, I am there as I am, because I am the invariable, in fact. So that is the understanding. Sharira nibaddha matim. Sharira nibaddha matim means what? All the things which I described now, these are all sharira nibaddha mati. Correct? So you become free from that. Parimuchya. So from this bondage of taking yourself as different sharira, whether it is a physical body or different subtle bodies, correct? Different kosha also it is said, pancha kosha and all, if you have read Taittiriya Upanishad, because each of these locus of identification, we can say, they are all like a covering. Koshavad achadaniyat kosha, like that Bhashyakara says. So it is like a covering, because once you identify at that level, so it is a locus of error, in fact. Once that identification, that error is there, it is really a covering, because it covers your true nature. So give up that sharira nibaddha matim parimuchya. Okay, then where do I take refuge means, or what do I understand further means, paramatma pade bhava nitya rataha. So then paramatma pade bhava means what? Then be as you are. As you are the invariable, you are the limitless. That is the paramatma pada. Be yourself as you are. As you are the limitless conscious being. We cannot say anything more than that. Even these words we are using only to negate wrong notions about yourself, correct? I don't have, even the word Atma itself need not be used. Bhashyakara says that if you read the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad Bhashya, he says that even Atma, words like Atma, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, all words, in fact, even the self-reference is not required really. It is all only a adhyaropa. It is all only a teaching device. We have to use all these words, but finally all words are also withdrawn. The apavada has to be done. Because you are as you are, you don't even have to use any word to know yourself, because you are self-revealing, self-existent reality. You cannot be indicated by any, you are not the direct meaning of any word. Correct? Directly you cannot be indicated by any word. In fact, you are the meaning of all words. It may sound contradictory, but that is what it is. Because the limitless is also limitless with reference to objects. So limitless is not any one object, but in fact it is the basis of all the objects, correct? All the objects are nothing but some appearance in the limitless only. The limitless only gives its own existence to any object, whether it is the objective existence or the subjective existence. All existence is only there is only one existence. So existence itself is the noun, and that alone is there. That is you. In fact, it's not separate from you. But the tragedy of language is that we use existence as an adjective and get confused. Existent part, we say. That is confusion. That is, in fact, ignorance. It is party existence, really speaking, because every name and form is only a name and form, correct? Existence alone is there. Name and form is all pure adhyaropa. It is all only an appearance in the reality. In fact, all scientists also understand this much. Because even when we scientifically study everything, we see the world is so variegated. There are millions, there are limitless names and forms. But then the scientists, they are able to reduce it to few fundamental particles, correct? You can reduce everything to some molecules, atoms, subatomic particles like that. And then fundamentally, there are only 2-3 things are there, quarks and all that they talk about. So that means if only, even according to the scientists, if only few things are there, the entire macro world is nothing but an appearance only, correct? It's all Maya. That is the Maya. It is purely an appearance. But even they have to further say that these things are all a collapse. They are collapsed from a quantum equation and all that they say. In fact, the quantum wave is a transcendental wave. These are all not my words. Many scientists use the words like transcendental wave, means it is not really in physical space-time, but it collapses into physical space-time when an observer is there and all that. This kind of a theory is the standard model nowadays. Of course, there are some people who don't agree with this. And even those who talk about an observer do not understand the nature of the observer, unfortunately. So they are also going somewhere to the same understanding that this entire space-time, it's only an appearance in myself. I am not in space-time. Space-time is in me, in fact. And in me means it's basically only an appearance, in fact. It's not even there really. Every object of cognition comes and goes. I am the invariable in each and every cognition, correct? That's what in Keno Upanishads is beautifully said. Prati bodha viditam matam. Bodham bodham prati viditam. What is known in each and every cognition? In fact, we are only focusing on the object of knowledge and completely take it for granted the invariable cognizer who is there in every cognition, correct? But the cognizer also is revealed in every cognition. You as the invariable conscious being is revealed in each and every cognition. If you understand that, then the objects themselves come and go, means they become mithya, correct? You are the satyam. In each and every cognition, what is being revealed is that your own satyatvam, because you are the invariable, you are the unchanging cognizer in every cognition. You don't require any special cognition to even understand this. Understand? Every cognition is revealing this to you. It is the greatest secret, in fact, because it is open, so openly available, but still not known. So it is the greatest secret that way. Every cognition is revealing to you your nature as the invariable in each and every cognition. But it is missed. So hold on to that. You be that invariable, limitless conscious being. That is the Paramatma Pade Bhava. You be in that. Hold on to that. Don't fall, so to speak, and identify with your body, mind, sense complex, correct? Be free. Free yourself from all this bondage, which is all only wrong identification. It's all erroneous cognition. The self itself need not be revealed by the Veda. Veda Pramanatvam also, how do we understand? What is Veda really revealing? It did not reveal the Atma, correct? In fact, it comes up in many places. Purvapaksha Siddhanta also. Bhashyakara answers this. He says, why do even why Brahman needs to be known through the Shastra or Atma Jnanam? How Shastra can give Atma Jnanam? Because Atma is already known. No, you ask any ignorant person also, who are you or do you know yourself? He will say yes. So Bhashyakara clarifies there, see, Atma is Swaprakasha, Swata Siddha, it is self-existent, self-revealing. Shastra need not come and reveal the Atma in that sense. But then what Shastra is doing? Shastra is only removing all wrong notions. In fact, Shastra's purpose is it's a negative function, correct? It's all apavada, really speaking. but then it does some deliberate superimposition to take care of particular wrong notions about yourself and then negates it. So each and every adhyaropa, it explains away certain things. When the apavada happens, it goes away, correct? The adhyaropa is done very consciously. Each and every word used by the Shastra, each and every prakriya which is used by the Shastra is deliberate. It is deliberate superimposition. It's all adhyaropa, because at the end of the day, what adhyaropa apavadabhyam nishprapancham prapanchate is the saying. That's the traditional saying. Bhashyakara quotes it, I think, in Bhagavad Gita Bhashya. So the adhyaropa apavada is the primary method. Everything falls under that only. Deliberately you superimpose so that you can explain away and negate, and that negation, all your wrong notions are also gone. So that, because that's how only way you can teach, because whatever is taught is not an object of knowledge. Understand that. This whole self-knowledge is very simple in one manner. If you look at it, it is ati sulabha, but it is also very sukshma. Why? Because all our lives we have known things only as an object. Either you objectify through your senses and mind, or you only objectify through your mind, certain concepts and all that. But everything you have known only as an object of cognition. But here we are trying to reveal to you the nature of the very subject. Even the status of being a subject is only dependent on the object, correct? It is contingent on the object being cognized. But even when there is no cognition, you are still there as the conscious being. And that conscious being can never be objectified, in fact. But still it has to be revealed to you. That is your nature. So that can only be done by deliberate superimposition and negation. Once everything is negated, you can see very clearly the negator alone can never be negated, correct? So this is where we differ from Buddhists and all that. There are some people, because in fact there is even a story, it's true actually. So there are many modern people, correct? They say that truth can never be defined. Truth is a pathless land. All these famous quotations are there, confusing people. And they think they are great intellectuals by saying that nothing can be defined. All these things, correct? There is even a Syadvada. In Jainism also, they say that it is there, it is not there, it is there and it is not there. It is there, it is not there, it cannot be said anything about it. Like this, they have all these 7 categories and all they give. That is called Syadvada. Syad asti, Syad nasti, Syad asti nasti, Syad avaktavyam. Like this and all they give different permutation combinations they put in this. Then Bhashyakara applies the Syadvada on the Syadvada itself and says that it is all nonsense. Okay, you cannot arrive at any conclusion based on this Syadvada. So there are people like that. Truth cannot be taught. Truth is pathless land. You cannot define reality. So once my Guruji, I think in the 80s, he was traveling a lot in US. He used to go to different universities and give talks. So it seems one university professor or somebody from the university, I don't know which university, but this is a story he himself has told us in the class I have listened. So one professor, so Swamiji was supposed to have a talk this evening and tomorrow or something. So before the talk, he comes and says, you are a teacher, you are going to teach Vedanta. What is Vedanta? Swamiji said, Vedanta is about the truth of yourself. Then a reality about yourself, correct? Then this person says, but you cannot define reality. You cannot define what is truth. No, Swamiji says, no, I can define very easily. Shastra is defining, correct? Satyam. Bhashyakara defines, yad rupena yen nishchitam bhavati, tad rupena tanna vyabhicharati iti satyam. So simply put, that which once you have ascertained something as this, it never changes from that. That means it can never be negated, correct? Once you have ascertained this is this, it can never be negated. So Swamiji simply said, I can define truth, reality, very simple. He said, that which can never be negated is the truth. Then this person heard this. Then he said, okay. He went away. So he thought about it all night. Then next day he comes to Swamiji and says, what you are saying is correct. I cannot break this definition. Okay, this definition works. Whatever can never be negated is the truth. But there is nothing like that. He is now arguing that. No, Swamiji said, no, there is, I will explain it to you. In fact, I am going to give this lecture and all that. No, he said, no, I cannot wait till that time. You have to tell me now. This is really bugging me. There is nothing like that. There is no truth which can never be negated. Then Swamiji also told him simply, see, there has to be a negator who is negating everything, but the negator can never be negated. Correct? The Swarupa of the negator is the truth, in fact. That which can never be negated is the truth, and that truth is nothing but your truth, in fact. If you are the negator, you say neti neti, you are saying, I am not this, I am not this, I am not this. That I, which negates everything, in fact, it's not even the negator. Finally, you have to give up that negator notion also. You are not a cognizer, you are not a knower. Without being any of these things, you are the being. You are there, correct? That is the truth. So with this understanding this truth, what? Jahi mohamayam. So you then destroy this mohamayam brahmam, he says. Guru is saying you destroy this product of maya, means mayat vikararte here. It is the product of moha or delusion. Moha here is ajnana, in fact. This avidya krita brahma, this error, this erroneous cognition born out of ignorance. You destroy it by how? Atma mate, by understanding yourself, correct? Knowledge of yourself. By knowing yourself, you destroy this delusion and all the things which are born out of this ajnana, this delusion, and be yourself. Nitya rataha bhava. Be happy always. This self is the source of all happiness. It is Ananda Swarupa, in fact. Atma ratihi. Be this Ananda. That's it. So that is the teaching. And the next verse, in fact, is little bit more details the Guru is going to talk about. We'll see that next week. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.